Hi, everybody. Joe Chaffee here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. Tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show, we're going to be talking about a weak system that'll be moving out of the Great Lakes and through parts of the Northeast and Northern Mid Atlantic states. It's very small and very weak. Also, there are no major storms are running around, but we still do have winter storm warnings up in California. That's all tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show at 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time. Weather in 5 brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York. Your go-to place to get ready for spring. They got mulch, they got topsoil and sand, and the event that we do ever get one more snowfall before the winter's out, they still have plenty of salt. 631-756-1125 is the phone number, and the website is omnitruevalue.com. So you can see on the watches and warnings map today a few winter weather advisories that are up for parts of north central and even into northeastern Pennsylvania, a couple of counties in southwestern New York. That's with this system that's coming out of the Great Lakes. We've got advisories up in northern Wisconsin, a few winter storm warnings there. Other advisories in northern Maine, also back into western South Dakota on up into Montana, and winter storm warnings continuing out in the west where California, it seems lately that it just snows forever. Not a bad start to the day, but you can see the clouds coming in from the west as they arc back from western New York and western Pennsylvania across the Great Lakes and then back into parts of the northern plains and extending even further west into Montana. You can see the energy off the west coast that's producing snows up in the mountains in Northern California. Here's what the radar looks like shortly before 11 a.m. Eastern Time. There's actually some echoes already moving in to southern New York and north central PA into even northwest New Jersey showing up on the radar. I don't know that any of this is actually reaching the ground. Snow is backing southwestward through Maine from a storm that's out in the ocean. And that's playing a big role with this system because it is going to run into that storm, and there's literally no room in the atmosphere for it. So the system that's coming east is going to gradually weaken as we go through tonight into tomorrow morning. So it'll be interesting to see how much is going to be left with this. WPC, I've put the probability here of an inch. That's kind of where we're at here with this particular system. And you see that the probabilities aren't all that high. I think part of that has to do with the fact that the system is weakening, and part of it has to do with the fact that the temperatures are really not going to be all that cold. They're going to be marginal at best. So why don't we take a look at the HRRR model, which lately has been doing well. So we'll stick with it until it stops doing well. There's your low in Illinois. You see the low also in New Brunswick, east of Maine. And again, that's sitting there. So we've got this moisture that's coming eastward. What we're seeing today on the radar is not really showing up very well on the models. We'll have to see whether that's a clue as to whether this system maybe is holding up a bit better than advertised. But here it is. It's just literally a stick about 75 miles wide of some light snow tonight. This is at 1 a.m. You see it there in northern New Jersey, moving also over Long Island. It's you go just north of New York City into the Hudson Valley and into Connecticut, you'll see next to nothing from this. This should be pretty much gone by the morning, by the time the morning commute really gets underway. Let's say 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. And then weather conditions will improve as the day goes on. The storm system that's out to the east, well, that's going to create some wind issues tomorrow. So we'll have gusty winds and probably clouds giving way to some sunshine. I'm just going to switch over to the GFS model. The new one is coming out now. So let's see how much we have of it. Actually, it must be delayed because I'm not seeing it here. Okay, so we'll just have to stick with the old one. And here's our system for tonight. See, it kind of matches up pretty well with the HRRR. Maybe some rain in South Jersey, Southeast PA, down into northeastern Maryland, northern Delaware. Then that goes away. Then we're going to see decent weather conditions probably for Wednesday and Thursday. Going to be a bit on the breezy side, and it's going to be on the chilly side. Daytime highs in the low to mid 40s, nighttime lows in the 20s to maybe close to 30 in warmer urban areas. And then there's a lot of uncertainty regarding this next storm system that you see out in the west. As far as the weekend is concerned, models are kind of all over the place about whether we're going to have another one of these primaries that goes to the lower lakes and a secondary that develops just offshore, or if it's just going to be one big arm of moisture that moves through with some rain or showers in most places and maybe some snow in the colder areas up to the north. Some models are even being more aggressive in showing a more important rain and snow event, but we're just going to kind of wait until we get some clarity on where this is all going. And it might still take another day or two to figure that part of the equation out. Weather in 5 brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York, 631-756-1125, the phone number. The website, omnitruevalue.com. We'll see you tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show at 7:35 Eastern Time.